Hello, Conejo Valley, and welcome to Conejo Gold, a show that features all the great happenings in the Conejo Valley Unified School District. Today we will tour a unique school, Sycamore Canyon K-8. Sycamore Canyon is located in Dos Vientos in Newberry Park. It is the only kindergarten through 8th grade school in the Conejo Valley Unified School District. It is a relatively new campus that contains elementary and middle school facilities with state-of-the-art classrooms, libraries, labs, and play areas. Sycamore Canyon has 1,500 students, but despite high enrollment, Sycamore Canyon's culture parallels that of a smaller school with meaningful relationships, a strong sense of community, and high student achievement. Sycamore Canyon provides students with opportunities in visual and performing arts and technology academies.
Well, welcome to Sycamore Canyon School. We're a K-8 school here in Dos Vientos, Newberry Park. I'm Dr. John Sand and principal. We're the only K-8 school in the district, but it's a blending of both elementary grades and middle grades. I can be in kindergarten 1 minute and honors geometry the next. So it does require me to lean on experience both at elementary and secondary levels. It's a family though. We try not to say elementary and then middle school because it shows division, whereas we don't have many of those hiccups when you transition from 5th to 6th grade. With here, in our situation, because of this K-8 setting, we have 7th grade students walking to school with 4th and even 2nd grade sibling. And it's nice to see. Students make smooth transitions, and we maintain separation at appropriate times and depending on the subject matter and playground, PE, for example, at the middle grades. But when it's appropriate, we bring them together, and I think you'll get to see some of those activities.
Oh, good.
You want to come in? Okay, well, my name is Nicole Mitchell, and I teach 8th grade science at Sycamore Canyon School. Today, we're out here drawing atoms and amazing atomic facts that we've learned in class. A lot of them the kids have researched themselves when we did our atom projects and learned about different elements. And then quite a few of them also come from the textbook and what we're studying in class. So it's a good mix of what we've been learning and what we've learned independently through our research. And the kids get to kind of pick what they want to include on those cards and the facts that they found that are really fun and amazing to them.
I drew the atom magnesium with the atomic number 12 and atomic mass 24.31.
What does that mean?
There are 12 protons and 12 electrons, and if you subtract the atomic mass with the atomic number, you get the amount of neutrons, which is still 12.
I drew the atom sodium, and so in the shell, this shell configuration is 281 because it has 11 protons. There's 2 in the first shell, 8 in the next shell, and 1 in the last shell.
I wrote that neon is found in large quantities in Las Vegas and New York's Times Square because it's used in bright signs for advertising.
A lot of the younger kids look up to the 8th graders, and it's important that they set a good example, and by drawing everything on the ground for the kids to see in 5th grade, they're teaching them about what they have coming up down the road in a couple months when they start learning about the periodic table. Even the 7th and 6th graders who aren't learning about atoms, when they come out to lunch and for their nutrition break, they come out and start reading everything, and they're kind of gearing up for next year also.
I'm here with Mrs. Mervin, who is a school counselor here at Sycamore Canyon, and she offers students a very special group that they can participate in. Mrs. Mervin, can you tell me a little bit about the group you offer?
Oh, certainly. We have girls group and boys group. We call them Girls Circle and Boys Council, and it's an opportunity for students to have a chance at lunchtime for 2 months to meet with the same group of students, and it's a voluntary program. The students can sign up for the program and try to limit it to no more than 12, actually between 8 and 12 students. The students like to do communication. We talk about communication, how communication breaks down. We talk about goal setting. We talk about stress management. The students they have a lot to share, and these are sort of the counseling part of who a student is in addition to the academic.
Tell us about the drum circle and how this changes students and makes them grow.
Absolutely. One of the things that students are very interested in trying to improve in their lives is communication. Communication with their families, communication with their friends. So we have a wonderful parent volunteer, Mr. Charles Johnson, and his children were students here at Sycamore, and I found out that he was a professional musician and approached him and asked him for our communication lesson. Would he be interested in doing facilitating a drum circle with the girls one day and the boys another day? And he's very generously done this for the last several years and facilitated the drum circle with them. And the kids just love it. He talks to them about other cultures, about communication, different types of communication, how you can use the hand drum to communicate, how communication breaks down, which the kids can completely relate to, especially now with their access through cyber social circles. And it's a really good experience, and the kids love it. And the one thing I noticed about the students in group is they're always really open to try new things. So this was something we thought we'd try, and Mr. Johnson had a great idea on how to talk about this type of communication using drums.
My name is Rich Bateman. I am the Director of Educational Technology for the school. It's a K-8 school, so I work with the teachers all from kindergarten all the way through 8th grade. And of course, I have a laboratory where I have students who have elective courses ranging from the Microsoft Word, all the Microsoft Office suite, all the way up to computer graphics and programming. We're standing in the lab right now, so this is a time when it's quiet, but usually we are running 6 periods where everything is running, and a student body of from 18 up to 36 students. We are also kind of a academy where we're trying to get every 6th grader working on the computers, and then as they go through to 7th and 8th grade, they have choices of whether they're going to be doing electives of Spanish or keeping with the computers themselves.
Chick, do you think this is a good idea? Like from this to this?
Well, in the academy, since it's the middle school, we are trying to get their computer skills to the 21st century literacy of computing. And my personal goal as I work with these students is get them ready for the high school experience. Just from anything from writing reports that they're going to have to do for teachers, all the way up through the advanced placement classes with at Newbury Park. There's Rich Kick, who teaches the advanced placement computer science class. I've kind of been one person who's getting knowledge from him and trying to get it so that when the kids leave Sycamore Canyon, they move right up and then they can take the AP computer science class with him. Currently, our 7th graders and 8th graders are using programs like GIMP, which is a kind of a open source program for Photoshop. And we also use another program called Blender, which is kind of an open source free version of the Maya software for computer animation. Currently, with the video gaming craze, a lot of the developers out that make video games and the consoles are currently bringing down free use software for developers. And it's kind of the same thing with the apps for the iPhone and things like that. They're using the code, bringing it down for younger students to be able to write their own code for the console. For instance, in 3rd trimester, we're going to be using a program called Kudo, which is actually the assembly language for the Xbox 360. So the kids, if everything goes perfect, the kids will be able to write their own kinds of generic programs, video games here in the class. We'll burn it to a CD, and they can take it home and work with it right there on their Xbox. So it's one of those things that also, as a passion of mine, I'm working towards getting the kids to understand game development and game design, because I feel that there's a lot of the academics involved with the critical thinking and the math for those kinds of programs.
So I'm here with Gina Solberg and Shannon McKay here, and I just saw an awesome rally. What is it like in ASB?
ASB here is a huge program. We have over 60 students in the ASB class. Mrs. Solberg and I each teach a period at the same time, so we each have about 30 students that come together, and each day we work on different events around campus. We put on lunchtime activities, we hold classroom competitions, we do spirit rallies, put on music at lunch. Just tons of campus activities for all the kids here.
And in pretty much every committee that we have, each of the committee has a goal, and it usually is centered around what else can we do for the population, what can we do with the elementary school kids. Everything is centered around how do we get everybody involved here on campus.
Let's go! Together!
How do the kids react to it? Like, what are their first reactions?
The rallies are a blast. We center the school rallies around Spirit and our Renaissance program, which is an academic program that we reward grades, citizenship, and work habits. And it's basically a huge party in the gym. The ASB kids work hard to decorate it in our school colors using streamers, balloons, everything. We play music, we do games, we do all sorts of things just to get the kids all jazzed up about Sycamore Canyon Pride.
I still can't hear you. We are #1.
And what are your goals now in ASB?
We want the kids to become leaders. That's the biggest goal. It's a leadership program, and so along with creating all the activities and having tons of fun every single day at lunchtime and fourth period, we want them to go into high school and go into life as leaders, as stepping up, knowing how to follow, knowing how to take charge, knowing how to rally a bunch of people together, and that's our biggest goal with them, is to bring them out of the shells, make each student feel like they can run a program successfully, have fun doing it, most importantly, and be able to communicate clearly with their peers, with adults, and take those skills into life and into their adulthood.
We use the curriculum of 7 Habits for Highly Effective Teens, and we do that when we're not planning a rally or when we're not doing a lunchtime activity. And that really helps them understand that what's leadership at school and on campus, but how can I take that personally and how can I take that into the future when I am a manager, when I'm leading a company, when I'm in college trying to pursue my career goals. So it's personal, it's social, it's for the future, but we kind of start with it right here on campus and start with it at school.
That's what we have here, is that gift of having a K-8 environment where we can work with the elementary and get them excited about middle school, get them excited about what's coming their way towards high school as well. And the kids are excited to work with them. We're not 2 different schools here. We are one big school. We work together. We do things together, and that's really important for the 8th graders to be able to get those 1st graders in there just completely jazzed and excited. Success is up to this point so far, and we'll continue to make sure that leadership stays at the forefront while planning really fun activities for the whole campus.
So you're both teachers here at Sycamore Canyon Middle School, and how is it like teaching at a K-8 school compared to, let's say, like a middle school with a 6-8, like Redwood?
Yeah, it's different. I teach honors English and CP at the 7th grade level, and then I'm also the advisor for the yearbook journalism class. And it's fantastic. I have one classroom at A period where there's 6th, 7th, and 8th graders all in the same room, all working together to put together a newspaper and a yearbook. And then the 7th graders, ASB gives me 7th and 8th graders. The greatest part about this program here is the fact that you've got students that have been here since kindergarten, you've got them that have been here since 3rd grade coming in, and we're so welcoming. We're still small enough to where we can really come together as a large group as opposed to sectioning off in little cliques and that sort of thing. The biggest transition that our kids make from 5th grade to 6th grade is they go from 1 classroom teacher to 4 teachers. And then in the 7th and 8th grade, they go from 4 teachers to 6 teachers, in some cases 7 teachers. But we really help them and get them along and make that transition very smooth for them so that when they do go to high school, they are prepared for the multiple teachers and multiple classes and that sort of thing.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Jamie. That concludes this edition of Conejo Gold. We'll see you next time.